Morning, everybody. We are Signal Centre talking ball. I'm Joe Neighbour. I'm joined by Ian Coleman and Steve O'Hare. Good morning,
Morning
gents.
all.
Good morning,
Everybody okay?
champions. Yeah, champions.
Good. Yeah, winners. We were crowned winners of the Technical Analyst Award yesterday for Best FX, Joint Best FX. We'll forget the joint bit, just so we were the best
Yeah.
FX.
Yeah,
Well
exactly.
done,
Finally.
lads.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, well done
I'll
all.
do a little post later. We can send that round on the blog. So yeah, decent end to the month. Same can't be said for the equity markets. I had a bit of a bashing yesterday.
Month end was mental, wasn't it?
It
It's
was a
like a
little
bit of
bit.
a frenzy at about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah. So we're going to change the setup a little bit today.
Because
And
it's been going so well, we're going to
it's been,
change it all.
yeah, exactly. So we're going to start off with some news. Ian's going to run through the latest on the FX markets and show us some key talking points, looking at some charts and giving us some news. So I'm going to hand over to you, Ian. We're going to drop off the screen and let you.
Okay, mate. Can you see my screen? Yeah, lovely. Bit of sort of anticlimax for ECB, if you like. There was not really a lot going on. No change in QE. They have made it easier for banks to get loans. I suppose it started on a bad foot yesterday. We've got German unemployment. The forecast missed it by miles. It was minus 370 odd thousand, and they had a forecast for about 70,000. Then GDP figure was minus 3.8, which is the deepest contraction on record for the Eurozone. Like I said, ECB, no change in bond buying, no change in QE. So that sort of was mainly the drivers for FX in the morning. But then obviously there was rumours of more tension between the US and China in the afternoon, and we saw risk currency pairs getting hammered. And the first chart that I've put up is sterling Aussie, and it's virtually a mirror of Euro Aussie, which highlights how strong, obviously, not necessarily the Euro buying, but the Aussie selling, and the same for New Zealand dollar. And in fact, normally when we get turmoil in the markets or we start to get sell-off in stocks, normally you start running to the dollar index, but that didn't happen. It was the opposite effect. So the dollar index actually got hit quite hard, and obviously that resulted in euro dollar, sterling dollar, etc., moving to the upside. But I think the dollar index is in this channel. We're going to get a bit technical now. So, and we've got some support just under here. So I think dip buying and probably just more consolidation in this 4-hour channel, and then potentially just a little leg up before sellers return. So with that dollar bias, I think that we're going to see some buying pressure in the dollar and a reversal of that quite strong up move in euro dollar, sterling dollar yesterday. We've got bespoke resistance located at 109.63, and that's just below this 161.8 fib, 109.88 for euro dollar. We have broken this downward trending line, so I think the long-term bias is probably to the upside, but I think we're probably just going to consolidate and maybe drift a little bit lower this morning. Cable's the one that I like today. If I sort of pull this out a bit, I think as far as Elliott wave is concerned, we've completed a 5 wave. That would suggest that we're in a third or 3 wave move to the downside, with this being 1, this being 2, and then coming down in 3. And I also think, looking at correlation and all the rest of it, euro looks stronger across the board than sterling does. Dollar Swiss, I think it's in a bit no man's land, but with the dollar bias, I think we're probably just going to edge higher today. Dollar yen's an interesting one. Let's just pull this out. We've got that uptick in dollar yen yesterday, even though we saw a move to the downside in stock indices. And the reason I've highlighted this is 108.23 is our bespoke resistance. And if we go to this little tool, and it's not a common fib, but 361.8% is bang on. So I think we're going to see potentially a choppy move to the upside, and then maybe a head and shoulders formation. I'm not calling a bottom in dollar yen yet, and at the moment still trying to sell into rallies. Dollar CAD, quite interesting. It hit a 261.8% fib yesterday, and then we've seen this strong move to the upside. Can't really see any reason for a reversal until around about 141.10 in that today. Aussie dollar, again, like we said, you got a real good smack to the downside. However, we are approaching quite a lot of support levels, especially in cross currencies. So in other words, sterling Aussie, euro Aussie, which I've just talked about, they are getting towards resistance, and if they're getting towards resistance, then Aussie dollar should be getting towards support. So we've got support down here at 64, the figure. Euro sterling, can't, to be honest, really struggled with this for quite some time, and it's in this, if this is the daily chart, it's just sort of moving sideways with these spikes up. We've got some resistance today located at 87.45. Just move that up a little bit, but I think we're just going to continue to consolidate. Euro yen is similar to dollar yen in the fact that we could see a bit more of an upside. I think we've got resistance here located at 118.55, and if we bring it in a bit, we sort of can see previous swing high sort of up here, and maybe again like dollar yen we could move higher and then maybe correct lower, make a reverse head and shoulders, but at the moment it's sort of in mid-range, no man's land, and prefer to be selling into it than buying into dips at the moment. So that's a roundup of the FX. Joe?
Is that me? It's me. Way. Which chart am I showing? I'm showing this one. Sorry, my director's rubbish. Just want to show you that we won. We're not lying about it. I'll pop the right chart up there. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. I'll start with crude oil. We obviously we had crude oil prices advancing further yesterday. Got above that $20 level, psychological level, and pushed through it. And looks pretty nice. Heard that Trump was on the wires threatening Saudi Arabia from withdrawing all their military support if they don't cut oil production. That's apparently what went on. So pretty amazing. If we look at the monthly chart, we still reacted from this $10 level on this chart, and we should have a bit of consolidation just above the $20 level, but we're still sort of like a little bit nervous about how far this rally can go with the upcoming month end into next month, or it'll be sort of middle of the month, the delivery date and everything. We'll on an intraday basis, I'm looking to buy a dip here. There's an AB equals CD correction, looking to target 2250 area. Let's look at copper. Copper had a nice reversal yesterday. On the daily chart, you can see a bearish outside candle. And further, well, it doesn't look like a bearish outside candle on this chart. It does on the IG chart, but a pretty negative day. Still trading within the Ichimoku cloud, so a little bit of support and resistance really sort of firing in here. But a nice reaction from the psychological 240 level, and we're down at 230 already. I'm again looking to sell a rally in that today. Moving on to gold. A nice reversal in gold yesterday, apparently caused by positioning. So longs liquidating and the move lower. Obviously dollar moved lower as well. We can see up here dollar down to 99 on the dollar index. Normally if dollar sells off, gold goes up. Didn't happen. So position squaring yesterday maybe. But really looking at the hourly chart on this, there's a nice little potential formation. We've got the high back on the 14th. The high on the 23rd. If we do get a break of 1661, that would confirm a double top. So a break and a close below this level is negative for sentiment. on the short-term basis. Let's pop across to the daily chart, see if we can take a look at this on the daily picture. This would be the level, 1661. As you can see, historically, it's been a bit of a battleground, but it's a short-term correction. I feel gold I'm still bullish of, but the short-term correction could still see a move down to even, let's bring the 50% fib in there. 50% fib comes in at $1,600. So a break of 1661, a measured move for that would be a move from the double top to the neckline. That would be a measured move target of the 61.8% fib retracement level at 1567. So beware gold longs. Silver still been battered compared to gold. We had this triangle formation, the break higher yesterday. Looked like a good opportunity to set longs on a dip, didn't work, and we've seen this correction lower. We can redraw a potential trend line there. Obviously, we need 3 points for the trend line to work. There's only 2 here, so we put that as a potential trend line. It's broken. This again. This is a potential trend line. Let's make them a bit clearer. Straight through there, knife through butter, and again, silver under pressure. Obviously you can see silver didn't make that. Hasn't got the potential of a double top, but it's still got the potential of a move down, and that would be a descending triangle formation. So that wouldn't necessarily be overall a bearish formation. So let's keep an eye on that over the coming days. That's not going to happen quickly. We have to see a move down to $14.50 and it to hold there for the potential for this bullish formation taking shape. So that's the 4 I'm covering. I'm happy to hand back to Joe. News-wise, really nothing else to add. The Saudis being threatened. What else we've got? Just, yeah, and the gold, really, that move yesterday, a little bit of month-end positioning. So overall, gold, I'm still bullish of it.
Cool. Nicely done. I'll have a chat about some indices then. Okay, so despite a late retreat yesterday in global indices, we actually did post the strongest month on record for equities for an April. So it was a pretty good month overall, but obviously a hell of a lot of selling seen into the close of the month. Now the ECB yesterday provided obviously cheap loans, and that failed to boost any confidence. And Wall Street losses were an important factor of that as well. There is worries about Donald Trump threatening to impose more tariffs on China, given the evidence that he's seen that the coronavirus started in a Wuhan lab. He was properly going for them with that, and saying that he has hard evidence. So we'll have to wait and see.
Oh wow!
You know what that actually is, or whether or not he's just being classic Trump. So we'll wait and see there. Chart-wise, I'll start off with the FTSE 100, and a very interesting move yesterday. What we did post on the daily chart was a bearish outside day. So we went on to make new highs above the previous day and close below the lows of the previous day to form that outside candle. And we've also seen a break of this short-term trend line. Now the selling did happen just ahead of this 50% retracement of this entire down move. So we've seen that stall quite nicely at an important area. Volume-wise, the volume had been decreasing on the move up. There is this anomaly on the 23rd of April, and that is present across all charts. I'm not sure what that was. I don't know if that was a specific event that caused that, whether it was an options expiry or something to do with oil potentially, or intervention. But generally, the slope has been down on the volume histogram, and yesterday we did see a break of that yesterday, and a big increase of volume on the selling. Above what we'd seen really over the last few weeks. So a potential signal that we could be done on the rally for now on equities, and we may see a resumption of this bear market that I think, we're pretty safe to say we're still very much in. It's been exaggerated, this correction, a bit more in the US. If you look at the Nasdaq, that's actually retraced to 78.6% level before posting this reversal yesterday. No outside bars to be spoken of there, but the volume again has been on the decrease, apart from this 23rd of April anomaly that we spoke about on the previous chart. Overnight in the Asian markets, it was the ASX that took the real brunt. I mean, that's not recovered anywhere near as much as what these European and US indices have. On the Fibonacci ratios, it's only just a 38.2 on the ASX, but a big old reversal that we've seen overnight and a break of short-term trend. And the volume there, you can see, has been declining while this move or this correction high has been seen. So from a personal perspective, I think we could be in for more selling in indices, and I think we're going to start seeing that as of now. Is it maybe a case of selling May and go away for equities, which is the old saying?
Indeed.
Maybe that's going to ring true this year. Information today on earnings out from Chevron and ExxonMobil. Obviously, both would have been absolutely battered as a result of the fall in oil prices. So, not expecting them to be particularly great. Royal Dutch Shell yesterday was a main contributor on the FTSE 100 as to why that declined by the extent that it did. It's cut its dividend for the first time in 80 years, did we say yesterday, Steve? Yeah, so pretty significant. And that contributed to the fact that it finished down 3.5%, as it's a very big weighting on the index. So that pretty much rounds up the indices.
Lovely, well done.
So now we can talk about our gun to the head challenge. So this is where we pick a day trade to get involved in right now, and something that we think will work between now and 9 o'clock this evening. So if we first of all have a look at how we did yesterday. It was a lovely day yesterday for our gun to the head challenge. Let's have a quick share of the old screen. So this is the keeping scores. Let's just zoom that in so it's easier to see. So this is based on risking 1% per trade. Yesterday, Steve went short of Bitcoin, which he mocked at the time, saying this is a rubbish trade, but he actually went on to hit target within a couple of hours. By lunchtime, Steve was 3.5 or 3.3R to the good on that. I had a long on sterling New Zealand dollar, which made 2.85, went on to hit the target, and is still going by the looks of the chart. And Ian was unfortunate on the New Zealand dollar.
5 ticks.
5 ticks.
Murder.
Stopped out on that before that started to retreat. So overall, since we started recording Talking Bull back on the 30th of October, we're now making 90% had we made,
well done, lads.
had we risked 1% per trade. So new all-time highs on the P&L account there.
Good effort.
So looking very good. So trades today. Who wants to go first? It's Steve's honour. Steve, you're on silent. We can't hear you, mate.
That's better. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. I was saying well done.
There you go. There's your chart.
That it?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. I'm got the right chart now, so that's all right. Gold, I would love to sell gold just down to this level, but it's too late, really. Selling a rally is probably the wisest choice at the moment. Tell you what about can I sell the dollar index? Is that all right? Or am I allowed to jump into?
Yeah.
I do have to stick to my own.
Sell it. I'm going to buy it.
Are you?
I'm
Brilliant.
going to sell cable.
Well, I think that's the whole point, isn't it? We'll have different opinions because I'm going to buy it. Maybe target a slightly different time frame to you, Joe. I'm going to just do a really short-term one because it seemed to work yesterday. Okay, a little bit of a bearish flag pennant. Just basically follow through from yesterday. I think we'll get a little bit more of that today. So why not have a go at selling this break here with a nice tight stop.
What time frame are you on there? 1 hour?
30-second. Yeah, 1 hour chart it is. And where am I going to target? Let's see, 98.30. Should we go for it?
Go on, mate.
98.30. Absolute rubbish trade. You got to be in it to win it. And
You
all
said
that.
that yesterday. Is that
Yeah,
your
exactly.
new
Don't-
catchphrase?
That's
It's a
that's
rubbish
it.
trade and then
Yeah.
it wins.
That's the new
Yeah.
mantra.
They are risking 20 ticks to make 70. Not bad, just over 3.5 to, well, exactly 3.5 to 1. There's my trade. Selling it at 99.04. Stop at 99.24 and target of 98.34. Just a little bit of a bearish flag. That's all it is. It's nothing. I haven't looked in deeply to it. Just a follow through from yesterday. Bearish flag, broken. Looking to break this previous resistance here. We should get a bit more follow through if we do. See $1.
Yeah, okay. I'll present the alternative case then, shall I?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Ian touched upon it on his roundup of currencies. He looked at the dollar index and highlighted this range that's present at the minute and the fact that we've found some support down here at 98.82. What I also noticed and why I was interested in looking at this right now is if we look at the hourly chart, I mean it is there on the 4 hour as well, was this little gap higher today, just there. So we've gapped higher on the overnight. So 11 o'clock when we flipped over, we gapped higher and we've seen a retracement back down to fill that gap, which looks to be holding at the moment. So I'm going to try and play the gap fill on that for a move higher. Now this is my other chart. So I'm looking for a retracement up to the 61.8% level of this swing move here. Might be a little bit ambitious for a day trade.
Yeah, very.
7.5 R.
Especially as Stevie O'Hare's gone the other way.
Yeah.
Very ambitious, mate.
Okay, we shall see, shall we? So I'm going to have a 15 tick stop on that. Only going to go a little bit below the gap. I'm not going to go below the low because I want to get my R looking good. So go for 6.8 R, buying at 99.06 with a stop at 98.91, targeting at a move to let's go 100 actually on the nose rather than a little bit above. So that will reduce the R a little bit down to 6.27.
Good luck.
I would actually go just in front of 100. What about 99.95?
Yeah, maybe. We'll leave it, just see what happens. Over to you, Ian. And I'll share your screen rather than Steve's.
Cable.
There we go. Cable.
So I'm going with Joe on stronger dollar, weaker sterling. The basket looks weak. I think we're getting a double top formation. We talked about that Elliott wave pattern. Our clients are hopefully short at 72 where we called it this morning, and it started to move lower. I don't see anything in the way of support until around about 120.50, 120 the figure. So I'm getting short here, which is 125.40, 120.40. I don't want an 80 tick stop. Shall I get in just above? I put the stop just above where we got short, which was 72. Oh no, 125.72. 12R.
Oh, yes, please.
Won't get it, but it's a 4 hour chart, this as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so short at the market 125.40, stop 125.80, targeting over the medium term 120.40.
Happy days. Good luck. Okay, so just to round up there, we've got 2 trades on the dollar index. We're going long and short of that today. And we've got a trade going short cable. So best of luck, gentlemen. Let's see how they play out.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Okay, so day ahead. Not much on the old calendar today. Just the US ISM Manufacturing Index, which is out at 3 p.m. today. No
wait for
non-farm
Trump to
payrolls
wake up,
this
haven't we?
week, despite it being the first of a new month, because that is on next Friday, non-farm payroll. So we'll do another little show for that, maybe, as we did last month.
Has bank holiday been moved, by the way?
Is it not this Monday?
Friday.
Somebody said it's been moved to Friday.
Yeah, moved to Friday because of VE Day, I think. Or
So it's next Friday.
yeah.
So we're in Monday.
So we're not here for non-farm payroll.
No, non-farm payroll isn't non-farm payroll today. They brought
No,
it
it's
forward.
next week.
Oh, well, they'd probably do it on a Thursday then, won't they? Or is it just?
Well, no, it was not a US holiday, is it? VE Day.
Dunno.
May Day.
No idea. I don't think they're involved in the war, were they? Till the end, until
Saved
we
our bacon.
till we won. Yeah,
Yeah,
rubbish.
they
That's
turn up
like
when we won it.
conspiracy theorists tell you that, Joe. I think it was the Irish Rovers won it.
Oh, really?
Yes. You don't know the story?
No.
Have we got time?
I'm sure
not.
you're gonna. I'm sure you're gonna know about it in a
No,
minute.
we'll,
I'm sure I'm going to make a story up.
yeah.
Tell you that.
Tell me later. All right, let's round it up there, guys. Great week, and we'll
Yeah.
catch you all
Well
next
done,
week.
champions.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, see you later.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Cheers.
Mate.